شهادة الثانوية العامة قسم رياضيات لغات. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كل عام وأنتم بخير. اليوم سنتناول الحلقة الأولى في مادة الجبر والهندسة الفراغية الجبر and solid geometry. طبعا احنا عارفين مادة الجبر مهمة جدا جدا في حياتنا العلمية والعملية، بمعنى بنستخدم مادة الجبر أو موضوعات مادة الجبر والهندسة الفراغية في الحياة العلمية والعملية. مثال على ذلك البرميتيشن أو التباديل، ممكن نستخدمه. أخيرا استخدمنا مادة التباديل والتوافيق في كيفية تحديد عدد السيارات في جميع أنحاء الجمهورية، وتقدر تستغل الجي بي اس انك انت تحدد كل سيارة بالرقم بتاعها عن طريق الأرقام اللي هي النمبرز اند ديجيتس، الأرقام والحروف. أيضا درس الكاونتنج برنسبل، انت ممكن تحدد عدد الطرق الممكنة انك انت ممكن تضع كمية من السيارات او عدد من السيارات في جراج به اماكن محددة. Welcome my dear student in our math program for secondary 3. Today we are taking the first lesson in algebra and solid geometry. Today we are taking revision about secondary school. After that we continue to study what is the meaning of permutation, combination, counting principle, what is the relation between them. My dear student, look at the revision. My dear student, arithmetic sequence. We know that A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D, and so on is called arithmetic sequence. First term, T1 equals A. Second term, A plus D. Tn, general term, A plus n minus 1 multiply D. If we have A, B, and C are consecutive terms of arithmetic sequence, then we reduce that. B equals A plus C over 2. Middle term, if we have three terms A, B, and C are consecutive terms of arithmetic sequence, we know that the arithmetic mean B equals A plus C over 2. Summation Sn equals n over 2 multiply bracket contains A plus L. N represent number of terms, A first term, L last term. Also, second rule of summation, Sn equals n over 2 multiply bracket contains 2L, 2A plus n minus 1 multiply D. Geometric sequence. Geometric sequence, its form AR square, AR power 3. General term, its symbol Tn, A, R, power n minus 1. If we have A, B, and C three consecutive terms of geometric sequence, then geometric mean, its symbol B, positive or negative square root AC. Someone say B squared equal A squared C squared. This is right. Or B equals positive or negative square root AC. Summation of terms in geometric sequence, its symbol Sn equals A multiply R power n minus 1 over R minus 1 and R not equals 1. S infinity, what is the meaning? Summation of terms which has n infinity n. A over 1 minus R. A first term. R is constant ratio. Now we deduce that factorial of n number. Factorial n means n multiply n minus 1 multiply n minus 2 multiply 3 times 2 times 1. This is called factorial n. Permutation. Permutation, its symbol NBR. NBR equals n multiply n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus r plus 1. And suppose or let n more than or equals r more than equals 1. NBR belongs to Z positive. What is the meaning Z positive? positive integers, set of 1, 2, 3, and so on. NBR equals 1, we deduce that R equals 0. But you know, NB0 equals 1 or NBR equals 1 when R equals 0. Combination. It's symbol NCR. This relation between NCR and NBR. NCR equals NBR over factorial R. Remember, NC2 equals NB2 over factorial 2. NCR equals NCN minus R. What do you mean? 10C5, 10C4 equals 10C6. 100C98 equals 100C2. Then NCR equals NCN minus R. Remember, NCN equals NC0 equals 1. Remember, my dear students, this rule is very important. NCN equals NC0 equals 1. NCX, when NCX equals NCY, we deduce that X equals Y or X plus Y equals N. If we have 10C2 equals 10CX, then X equals 2 or X plus 2 equals 10. Now we are continue to permutation. What is the meaning of permutation? It's a set of elements. Then each arrangement which can be performed by taking some or all of these elements is definite order. Counting principle. What is the meaning of counting principle? It's a certain, if we have a certain act can be performed in N different ways, and second act can be performed in M different ways, then two acts can be performed in different in M times N ways. Layers of permutation. NBR equals what? N multiply N minus 1 multiply N minus 2 multiply N minus 3 to N minus R plus 1. As example, 10 B3 equals 10 times 9 times 8. 10 B2 means 10 times 9 and so on. Also NBN equals N multiply N minus 1 2 3 2 1. Factorial N multiply N minus 1 as NBR. NBR by different ways equals factorial N over factorial difference between N and R. NBR factorial N over factorial N minus R. 10 B3 equals what? Factorial 10 over factorial 7. NB0 equals 1. Why? Because N factorial 0 means factorial N over factorial N minus 0 or factorial N over factorial N equals 1. Also factorial 0 equals 1. We have proof to prove that factorial 0 equals 1. Factorial N, we can put other method equals N factorial N minus 1. As example, factorial 5, 5 factorial 4. Factorial 10, 10 factorial 9. Factorial 7, 7 factorial 6, and so on. Also, we can put factorial N equals N multiply N minus 1 factorial N minus 2. If we prove that factorial 0 equals 1, we know that NBN equals factorial N over factorial N minus N. In denominator, factorial N minus N equals 0. Therefore, factorial N equals factorial N over factorial 0. We deduce that factorial 0 equals factorial n over factorial n equals 1. And nb0 equals 1. By the same method, factorial nb0 equal factorial n over factorial n minus 0 equals factorial n over factorial n equals 1. Look at this example. Simplify factorial n plus 1 over factorial n minus 2. My dear student, this example we clear how to simplify factorial n plus 1 over factorial n minus 2. This example may be multi-choice, but before we choose a multi-choice or correct of answer, we simplify. What is the greatest, or which is the greatest? Factorial n plus 1 over factorial n minus 2. Excellent student, factorial n plus 1. Why? Because factorial n minus plus 1 equals n plus 1 times n times factorial times n minus 1 factorial n minus 2. Look at, simplify. Factorial n plus 1, n numerator equals n plus 1 times n minus 1 factorial n minus 2. And denominator factorial n minus 2. We simplify factorial n minus 2 up and down. Therefore, factorial n plus 1 over factorial n minus 2 equals n plus 1 times n minus 1. Note that, my dear student, 7b3 or 7 permutation 3 equals factorial 7 over factorial difference between 7 and 3 equal factorial 7 over factorial 4. Factorial 7 equal what? 7 times 6 times 5 factorial 4. Therefore, answer is 7b3 equals 7 times 6 times 5. Also, 8 permutation 2, 8 times 7. 9 permutation 3, 9 times 8 times 7. 6 permutation 6 equals 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 equal factorial 6, 720. Factorial 5, 120. By the same method, we can use calculator to calculate factorial 6, factorial 7. Look at, my dear student, how to prove 7b3 times 19b4 equals 19 factorial 19 over factorial 13. This is very important. When we want to find 7b3 times 19b4, we know factorial 7 over factorial 4, the first. The second, factorial 19 over factorial difference between 19 and 4 or factorial 15. And we use simplify. This left-hand side, 7 times 6 times 5 factorial 19 over factorial 15 equals 7 times 6 times 9 factorial 19. Factorial 15 equals what? 15 times 14 factorial 13. Therefore, we use simplify up and down. 7 times 6 times 5 equals 15 times 14. Then left hand side equals factorial 19 over factorial 13. Another one. How to prove r square over factorial r plus 1 plus 1 over factorial r minus 1 over factorial r minus 1 equals 1 over factorial r plus 1. My dear student, this example we maybe find it in multi-choice. R squared over factorial r plus 1 plus 1 over factorial r minus 1 over factorial r minus 1, and give me for multi-choice 1 over factorial r minus 1, 1 over factorial r, 1 over factorial r plus 2, 1 over factorial r plus 1. This is correct answer. Before we choose the correct answer, we must prove how to solve left-hand side. Look at, my dear student, left-hand side r squared over factorial r plus 1 equals r plus 1 times r factorial r minus 1 plus factorial r in denominator equals r factorial r minus 1 minus 1 over factorial r minus 1. Look at the common denominator, factorial r minus 1 times r plus 1. And we simplify numerator. Therefore, we deduce that, my dear student, left-hand side equals 1 over r plus 1 multiply r multiply factorial r minus 1, or 1 over factorial r plus 1. Remember, my dear student, look at the denominator. Bracket contains r plus 1 multiply r multiply factorial r minus 1. This is factorial r plus 1. This is called factorial r plus 1. Therefore, left-hand side equals 1 over factorial r plus 1. Another example. Factorial 20 equals, choose the correct answer, 2 power 10 factorial 10 multiply 19 times 17 times space 2, 4 times 4, 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. By using factorial 20 equals 20 times 19 times 18 times 17 times 2, 1. We divided all numbers to even and odd. The even number 20 times 18 times 16 times so to n times odd number 19 times 17 times 13 times 2, 1. Therefore, we deduce that 20 equals what? 10 times 2. 18, 9 times 2. 16, 8 times 2, and so on. Multiply the odd number. 19 times 17 times 15 and 2, 1. Therefore, 2 repeated times 10 times. Answer is 2 power 10 times bracket contains 10 times 9 times 8 times 19 times 17 times 1, or we put 10 times 9 times 8 is factorial 10. Therefore, the answer is 2 power 10 factorial 10 times odd number start from 19 times 17 times 15 to 1. Now we are translate to other example. If NB2 equals 132, what is the value of n? Choose the correct answer. Is in 5, is in 6, is in 12, is in 11. Choose the correct answer. How to deduce value of n when NB2 equals 132? Someone think What is the two numbers or consecutive two numbers each multiply 132? It is very easy. What? 12 times 11. Then 12 times 11 means NB2. NB2 equals 12B2. Therefore, N equals 12. Or NB2 we can put as N multiply N minus 1 equal 132. We factorize 132 to two numbers, 12 times 11. Then N equals 12. As a solution, N multiply N minus 1 equals 132 by using factorization. N squared minus N minus 132 equals 0. Factorize N plus 11 multiply bracket N minus 12 equals 0. Therefore, N equals negative 11 and N equals 12. Or by using calculator, mod 5 3 or mod equation 3. Some calculator take mod equation mod 5 or mod 3. Use mod equation 3 and put A equals 1, B equal negative 1, C equal 100 negative 132. Then answer is N equals negative 11 and N equals 12. Another example, 7BR equals 210. What is the R? Choose the correct answer. Someone take R equals 2, 5, 4, 3. Look at 7BR. When 7BR 210, we factorize 210 into 3 numbers. Start from 7. Why? Left hand side 7BR. Then 210 must start or divided the first by 7. After that, divided by 6, divided by 5. Then 210 equals 7 times 6 times 5 equals 7B3. Both 7B3 equals 7BR. Therefore, R equals 3. In this case, R equals 3. If we have X plus Y B3 equals 504 and X plus Y B2 equals 20. What is the value of X and Y? We factorization or factorize 504 divided by 9 equal 56 divided 8, 7 divided 7, 1 or 504 9B3 by using factorization. Then X plus Y B3 equal 9B3. Therefore, we deduce that X plus Y equals 9. The first equation. Also 25 times 4. The second equation, X minus Y equals 5. We have two equations in two unknown variable X and Y by using omitting method or calculator. X equals 7, Y equals 2. 7 minus 2 equals 5. 7 plus 2 equals 9. If n minus 1 B3 ratio or over n plus 1 B3 equals to ratio 7. What is the value of n? This example, when ratio between two terms n minus 1 B3 over n plus 1 B3 equals to ratio 7. What is the value of n? In this case, n B3 means n minus 1 multiply n minus 2 multiply n minus 3. In denominator, n plus 1 be 3, n plus 1 times n minus 1 equal 2 over 7. We simplify, divided numerator denominator by n minus 1. Therefore, by using cross multiplication, we deduce that n squared minus 5n plus 6 over n squared plus n equals 2 over 7. Therefore, by using cross multiplication, we reduce 5n squared minus 37n plus 42 equals 0 by using factorization or calculator to find value of n equals 6. In this case, n equals 6 or 7 over 5 diffused. Why? Because n must be belongs to z positive. Z positive is positive integer numbers. My dear student, by the end of the lesson, we know that permutation is very important lesson, and combination very also important lesson. My dear student, I am very happy to spend such time with you. Thank you. Goodbye.